Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is a 2016 Kia Sorento SX, the latest car to be added to my driveway in the I Bought a New Car DLC for real life. Okay, the intro is about as far as I can carry a parody of my own GTA Online new car videos. But it's true, this is my new car. Well, I mean, it wasn't brand new, but it was pretty close. The previous owner only had it a few months before they kinda forgot to keep making their payments. A repossession and a sale to a dealer at an auction later, and I found an incredibly low mileage Sorento right in my price range, and it included practically every option that I wanted. Usually when a YouTuber gets a new car, they go into some humble brag drivel about how they wouldn't be driving their cars if it weren't for all their subscribers. I'm not going to do that. Why? Well, because I don't really make money off of YouTube. In fact, if I add up all the money that I've ever received from YouTube, then I add in all the money I receive from the super awesome people over on Patreon, well, I'd still wouldn't have enough money to equal how much I handed over as a down payment on this car. Though I gotta send some love to my Patreon peeps, because their monthly pledges do just almost cover my car insurance every month. Still, I am very grateful to have this car. If you've followed my channel for a while, then you know that 2017 was a pretty terrible year for me. Thankfully, I have a good family and they took me in, giving me time to hit the reset button, find a new job, and get a fresh new start on things. Now, just barely 4 months later, things have turned around enough that I was able to buy a fairly nice car. Or I guess I really should call it what it is, a crossover. Are you happy, Commander? So, why did I buy this particular crossover? Well, I rented a Sorento for a trip a few years ago, and I liked its size and its handling. When I looked into how much they cost, I was surprised by how much Kia includes for not a lot of money. In fact, my Sorento has nearly every option that you can get. And since I bought it pre-owned, I got it for pretty cheap. It has a 292 horsepower V6 engine that turns the front wheels with 252 pound-feet of torque. It also has what Kia calls a shiftable 6-speed automatic transmission, but don't be fooled. This is a crossover, so there are no shift paddles, and this is an old-fashioned slush box, not some cool modern dual clutch. All those horsepowers and torques don't really matter though, because I leave the damn thing in eco mode all the time in my attempt to defy physics and get decent gas mileage while I navigate a 4,000 pound rectangle down the road. Surprisingly, if I'm really good, I can get 26 miles per gallon in city driving. Since this is my daily driver car, I wanted something that's comfortable, safe, reliable, and that had a fair few bells and whistles to distract me while I'm driving. My Sorento definitely does a good job in the driver distraction department, with an 8-inch infotainment screen that lets me adjust everything from the clock face to where the music is centered inside the car to making phone calls or just fiddling with the air conditioning. When I finish being distracted by that screen, well, there's another one in the middle of the dashboard that I can play with via controls on the steering wheel. I can choose all sorts of fun things on this display, from a speedometer to tire pressure monitors, compass, radio display, and well, just about a bajillion other things. I'm gonna go Doug DeMuro here for a minute and point out a little quirk of my car. One of the really cool little things that I like on the center display is that it lets me know what the headlights and windshield wipers are up to. If I turn on the rear or the windshield wiper, I don't have to rely on looking at just the stalk to figure out how they're set. No. I can also look at the center screen for that info. And that's kinda handy because it's not always easy to tell at a glance where I set the stalk. The same thing happens for the headlights, which is helpful during the day, but the sudden absence of light at night kinda negates the need for the little hint on the display. When I'm finished being distracted by the fun little infotainment screens, which by the way they include Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, I can turn my gaze upward to Mother Nature for even more distractions. That's because my car is equipped with my favorite thing that I've ever had in any car that I've ever owned, a panoramic sunroof. I never get tired of this thing. It can pop open just a little bit in the middle to let in just a tiny bit of fresh air, or you can let the entire front half slide back and let the air and sunlight pour in. If I ever actually have any rear seat passengers, they're in for a treat because the view from the back seat is absolutely incredible. But even from the front seat, the view's still quite lovely. When sitting at stoplights, I just glimpse up and see nothing but sky. And at night, oh man, I wish I had a better low light camera because at night, when the skies are clear, that roof becomes my best friend. The car has other nice options too. It has a neat little welcome song that plays every time I get in. and another one that plays when I turn off the car. It does a cool little scan animation when I first start it up. It has a nice 10-speaker surround sound system that is quickly destroying my hearing. At night, it has LED lights, well, everywhere, to help me find the door handles and to see where to put my feet, and everything glows in a lovely shade of red. In fact, even the infotainment screen changes a bit at night, shifting from light-colored graphics over to dark. The seats are leather, and the front seats are heated. It has seating for 7 people, though, honestly, those back 2 seats, yeah, they're not really made for adults, or even teenagers, and especially not the world's oldest 15-year-old.
Yeah, not the most comfortable place for a full-size person.
But hey, they fold flat, and so do the second row seats. Okay, well, kind of. When the front seats aren't too far back, they fold flat. Let's try that again with the left seat. There we go. So, that's my newish car, a 2016 Kia Sorento SX crossover utility vehicle. Now, in keeping with my new car videos, I'm gonna hush as I give you a first-person view of starting the car and then attempting to rev it only to forget that it's still in eco mode and, well, it doesn't really rev much unless I change it over to sport. Oh well. After that, I'll take you on a quick little drive around the mountaintop park that I recorded all of this in. Fair warning though, the mic on my camera is terrible and I had to use a tripod in the back seat, so the footage is very shaky. Anyway, until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.
The route guidance will start now. In a half mile, turn left onto... In a quarter mile, turn left.